Hey mamas! Why would you need to heal your past? Does your past need healing? How would you know? I'm going to give you the 5 top reasons for you to cross-check whether in fact your past also needs healing. So, number 1, you are finding yourself acting disproportionately to things that your children and your partner, your friends do. For example, your kids showing big emotions, whining, anger, fighting, physical kind of aggression, any of that kind of thing, if that provokes a really deep, visceral body reaction in you, then that could well be a sign that that part of your childhood is not yet healed. You perhaps weren't allowed to show really big emotions, or when you did, you were punished. So this will of course trigger those old feelings that you used to feel as a child, which then causes a disproportionate reaction when you see it being done around you. Disproportionate means more than what that action actually warrants. And we know when we're disproportionately angry or sad, we feel it. It's like a body reaction rather than just feeling mildly annoyed. If you're getting a body reaction to things that your children or husband do, that is showing you that there is unhealed memories that haven't yet been integrated from your past, and self-limiting beliefs such as I'm invisible, I'm not worthy, I'm not enough, that need looking at. Secondly, if you find yourself parenting like your parents when that's the last thing that you wanted to do, again, that shows you how you were parented. If you are doing things that are not what you want to do, for example, hitting your children, slapping your children, screaming at your children, treating them in ways that you find logically disrespectful, and yet you're doing it, this is showing you the memories, again, that are not yet integrated. They haven't been processed properly from your childhood. And there's a reason you're acting in that way when you're overwhelmed or angry or stressed or tired, because this bit of your brain, the prefrontal cortex, has gone offline. That bit is the bit that concerns itself with the consequences of your actions, logic, reason. When we're very stressed or overwhelmed or tired, this bit doesn't get used, it's offline, and instead we go to a much older kind of fight or flight system where we feel under attack and we literally do what we heard, what was said to us, or what was done to us. If you find that you're doing that more than you would like, this is showing you that there are areas from your past that you could do with processing and integrating so that you don't act in this way. Number 3, if you feel more sad and more angry than you can find reason for, are you lashing out at your partner? Are you lashing out at your kids? Do you find yourself crying over the smallest thing? This could be a sign that you are literally overflowing. You've got a huge backlog of either grief or anger, which is so ready to come out. That's why it's kind of leaking out in inconvenient or perhaps inappropriate moments. This backlog can be got rid of, absolutely, but we need to go back into your past to find out why there's a backlog. And usually it's because you weren't allowed to show big emotions as a child. So these just piled up, and they're so ready to come out, and they're showing you that they're ready to come out because you're crying or you're getting angry at the smallest thing. You feel volatile, you don't feel in control of your emotions. Not being able to voice your truth, number 4. If you aren't connected to who you are as a person, you're not quite sure what you believe in because you've been told as a child that your beliefs were wrong, or that your feelings were wrong, or that your feelings were unwelcome, then it's completely normal that you will second guess yourself and perhaps be really indecisive, look towards other people for advice or guidance, and then not really know what it is that you want to do. Again, that is back to childhood. You weren't allowed to connect to yourself. You weren't allowed to be authentic, probably because it made other people feel uncomfortable. You had to shove down those feelings. You had to get rid of your authenticity in order to survive. That was the right thing to do at the time. But now, as an adult, that's not good. We want to be able to speak our truth. Lay down healthy boundaries. Say, this is me, and it doesn't matter what you think. I don't care what you think, because I am me, and that's what's important. Another reason to go back into our past, understand the pain and the wounds that were created when you weren't able to be yourself, and heal that. Lastly, number 5, triggers. So when you feel that you are being triggered into certain patterns of behavior that don't feel logical or authentic, that shows us that you are being controlled by unconscious patterns. So when you are letting certain fears or self-limiting beliefs self-sabotage your life, in essence, for example, not letting yourself be successful, fear of failure, being scared of getting it wrong, and carrying around a certain kind of guilt or shame that's all pervading. Even though you know you haven't done anything wrong, you feel like you're about to get something wrong. These self-limiting beliefs were created when you were little. You've been carrying them ever since, and no doubt this was the kind of thing that you were told as a child repeatedly. No, that's wrong, or you don't do that, or you're not allowed to do that. These things go in if we hear them over and over and over again. So if you feel like you're not enough, or that you've got it wrong, or that you are bad, these beliefs haven't come from nowhere, and they are triggering certain reactions in you when things happen. So if you're a failure, for example, you may feel like you're constantly having to achieve, to be busy, to get new certificates, new promotions, new skills. Or you might be in a state of apathy. The fear of failure has frozen you into a spot because it's too scary to move out of that zone because you might get it wrong. And the consequences of that as a child were too big to bear, too painful. So that's another way in which we can recognize that our past does need healing. If we are limiting ourselves by these self-limiting beliefs or self-sabotage techniques, which we know aren't good for us, but we can't seem to get over them. So all of these 5 key reasons: triggers, self-limiting beliefs, parenting like your parents even though you don't want to, feeling inexplicably sad or angry, self-guessing, feeling really indecisive, not being able to speak your truth. They're all ways in which your childhood has affected who you are now. The good news is you can change this. It may be in your past, but we can heal your past so that you are who you want to be now, and you create the future that you want to be. So you are the mum, the wife, and the woman that you want to be. How can we do that? Through inner parenting our child back through those emotions that were painful, giving her the reassurance and the love and the protection that she didn't get when she was little, helping her to feel safe enough to be herself, because that is not something that she felt when she was little. Any questions on that, hit me in the direct in the comments. If you want any more tips and tools, then look on my website, www.laviniabrown.com. Lots more blogs and vlogs on these kinds of things. And if this is something that you feel you'd like to explore, then reach out. I have a group coaching program and I have a one-to-one program. I also have self-led programs. So lots and lots of different ways in which you can find the support that you need to heal your past and create the life you want.